Good morning, everyone. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. It is a timeless reading. It's originally created for Monday the 12th of December, but if you're seeing it on a different date and it still fits to a situation you might be feeling or thinking about dealing with, and it makes sense, by all means utilize the reading. If it doesn't make sense or you don't connect to it, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It's a general energy reading, right? So it's just kind of looking at what's out there and available to us. Doesn't mean you're off your path or doing anything wrong. It just may not be your reading. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu on any of the daily videos. In there's information on how to get in contact with me via social media for a private reading or follow me, how to support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, sharing the video out, or leaving me a question or comment. I greatly appreciate all of that. So let's get into this. I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading, which populates in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video. So if you want to check that out, you can. And let's see, what is the card for us today for the 12th of December? One more shuffle. It is the Page of Swords. Not mad at this page at all. Pages oftentimes bring new messages with them, right? They also bring like an inquisitive nature just because they're young, they're youthful, they are learning. It's a stage of learning. They're not quite, a king or a queen. They don't necessarily have the full knowledge yet. But this Page of Swords also can be like a card of further investigation is needed. We're trying to rise up out of the clouds. Do you see the clouds in the mountains? And she's facing towards the past. Some of us may find ourselves today looking at things through our logical mind, right? The swords is the mind, and trying to make sense of it or trying to further understand it better so that we can move forward. I do get a sense with this card that we might be, I don't want to say holding on to the past, but we are reflecting backwards to me in an effort to get clarity so that we can move forward. Now, in yesterday's Sunday reading, right, for the underpinning energy, we had the Magician. The Magician is about creation. He has the ability to create whatever it is that he sort of wants. He has all of the elements at his sort of disposal. And what I get with that mixture, with this page, is that we might be doing one final inventory, one final go through today, one final reflection back to the past to find a piece of information or an understanding for ourselves that in some way educates us or informs us so that we can utilize the power of that magician to create the transformation that he represents, right? We also saw in the Sunday reading the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So that's also why I'm not surprised to see this Page of Swords. Because that Knight to me felt like he was charging in, hold on, coffee. That Knight to me felt like he was charging in with new insight and clarity, and then giving that clarity or that information to the Queen to cut through the clouds and emotionally and logically begin to move forward and dare to dream through that Two of Wands. Now, this page is rising up out of the clouds. We've found some sort of clarity, but maybe not quite yet enough, is my feeling. And we're looking back with an intention of moving forward. We're from the present moment, because if you look at this page's body, she's turned directly to us in the present. But we're ready to take that truth with us, that investigative answer that we're searching for, that is within us, from a hard or difficult period of our past, and start to, adopt it or learn from it, and then begin to move forward. Does that make sense? So if today's a day of reflection, honor that reflection. Try not to get caught in any sort of like negative thoughts or tapes, It's about This is about growth to me. Pages are always about exuberance, youthfulness, growth. And the Page of Swords can be about, investigation, finding that last answer or that piece of information that might be missing. And she is doing so that she can move forward, so that she can get where she needs to go. With the Magician underpinning this and those other swords cards that I saw in the Sunday reading, I feel like we will get that piece of information. It almost feels like, to me, it's coming in on the birds here, right? It's coming in through the wind in her hair. It may be coming through spirit or through signs, symbols, realizations within ourselves. But it's about sort of grasping it and making logical sense of it within our mind so that we can move forward. And that's what I get with this card now. And remember also the Divine Abundance card was like, I think it was called Go Forth. Oh, I didn't write down the cards from yesterday. Whoops. I think it was Go Forth. Let me hold on one second. Knight of Swords. While I remember them right now, while it's fresh. Queen of Swords. Sorry, guys. Faith was the grounding stone. And remember, we need to ground in faith. And then the Two of Wands was the clarifier. I keep a daily journal of what the cards were for each day. We had the Magician in the first seat, the Three of Pentacles, successful collaboration in the midweek, and we had the Ten of Pentacles as the end of the week. So that, or Ten of Cups. So that will be good. And then I think it was called Go Forth. And basically, essentially, the card was about what I need will come to me and what I don't need will go away from me. And so we also might need to release this negative situation or this period, this struggle that we've gone through. And this page is learning how to do that today through reflection, contemplation, but in a present, like maintaining, a present time space while doing so. I do believe the answer will come and it will allow us to move forward in a way where we can collaborate with others, with new ideas, other people, thoughts, that sort of thing through the midweek that lead us to a happier place by the end of this week. So have faith in that, right? That's all from yesterday's reading. Now let's look at the Divine Abundance card. Okay, this is worth. I'm going to say this because yesterday was on Tiger's Eye and I said the song this week is The Eye of the Tiger, which is by the band Survivor. And we have this tiger sitting here. I love the red energy here. This red energy really gives me this feeling of activity, action, fire, desire, movement, right? And then it says, you have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. So this might be us trying to figure out, well, why did that happen? Why did that go that way? Why did they treat me that way? Or why did I, trying to make sense of something that was outside of maybe our control or was potentially harder than it needed to be, right? And because we went through it, we're trying to reach a completion with it. And I think that this worth card is telling us we don't need that completion necessarily. We are worthy, even if we were treated or experienced something that was, full of challenge or struggle that we don't quite fully understand, right? And so, understanding our worth and understanding that what we need will come to us in perfect divine timing really is kind of the key here. And be in that faith of that tiger's eye with this tiger staring us dead in the face. We are survivors. We will get through this and we will transform it through the magic of the Magician into something that serves us quite well, is my feeling. Let's go to the clarifiers. First up, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is the being left out in the cold card, and this is sort of with this feeling of where this page is trying to make sense of what went on in the past and why. Why did it happen to me? Or, this is that general energy, but they're moving forward still, even in the face of adversity, right? The Pentacles are on a church, which is a safe spiritual space. Fives are transitory, meaning that this feeling of, if we are feeling unworthiness, right? Because this family left out in the cold would feel unworthy. They're still not giving up. They're still trying to hold on to what they have and move forward, even in the face of adversity. So, focusing on our worth today and understanding that trials come to everyone, it's a part of life. It's like, it's not personal, and this is probably just as much for me as anybody else. When we face adversity, it's not something personal from God or the universe. It's something that we just have gone through to sort of educate us, evolve us, and teach us, right? And so, working our way through this, 3D understanding of this logical understanding of something that happened in a 3D world situation. Some of you could have been fired, or it's a breakup, or whatever it is. We're trying to make sense of it, but we need to understand the entire time, even if we feel as though we were treated poorly, we were worthy of so much more. And so stay in that worth. We have the King of Wands. This is oftentimes associated with the fire signs, the energy of Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. He's the kind of like, he can be impulsive, but he's also the guy that kind of says, I see it, it's there, it's mine. It's like, he just goes after what it is he desires. And with the worth of the redness of that worth card, it was giving me definite fire vibes and fire energy. We need to find our own inner drive to move forward in a way that is empowered, passionate, direct, maybe even, I don't want to say impulsive, but without thought of others at this time, right? Don't allow yourself to hang out in the Five of Pentacles setback feeling. Rise to the King of Wands and understand that, I just want to say, like, this too shall pass, right? And we can move forward towards something new or create new desire from within the vacuum of whatever this situation was for you. The last card is the Judgment card, and I live for this because what this says to me, and this is Scorpio energy, right? And it is Major Arcana, our only Major Arcana card on the reading. But Judgment is about answering the call. Judgment can oftentimes be sort of soulmatey in that way, but it's also about, in this reading, honestly, I feel like whatever it is that we're trying to make sense of, don't worry. I feel like this Judgment call is like the universe is going to set it straight in their time, whether we understand it or not. So for those of you that may feel like you were in a situation where you were wronged, set back, put out in the cold, denied, understand that there are spiritual forces at work in the background that are kind of balancing all of this out, right? That are asking us to rise to a higher sense of self in that faith stone that we saw yesterday, right? Rise into the realization of our worth, even if a situation treated us as though we were unworthy. Understand that we can still have sort of what we desire, even if we maybe have to, change our desires. Does that make sense? Like, in other words, if we thought a certain situation was going one way and it didn't, it's time to find a different situation that's more in line and more suited to us, rather than get caught in the aspects of what didn't work out, right? And so Judgment is also, and I'm going to say this too because that's the Archangel Gabriel, I do get this feeling that we are protected by our guides, our ancestors, the Ascended Masters, our own angels, right? And allow those angels to guide you. Bring them in. Pray to them every day if you need to. Invite them in to show you what you need to see. They could very well be these birds coming in on high, the wind blowing through her hair, the signs around us that show us how to move forward or what we need to know or understand to move forward. But know that Spirit is at work here with the Judgment card here. The angels are at work. They are here to kind of show us the pathway to understanding and really getting the information or the understanding of our worth, of the fact that we have always been true love and that we deserve to be treated in a way other than maybe what we have just gone through that we're trying to make sense of. The grounding stone for today is freedom. Focusing on freedom, freedom from maybe a period of time of being left out in the dark or in the cold, freedom from past situations or things that don't make sense, that didn't necessarily, I want to say, pan out or hurt us in some way. That should be the focus today. Understanding our own worth and value and appreciating that, lifting that up, nurturing that, that also helps us to attain this sort of freedom from, limiting beliefs or other people's expectations. Freedom is a wonderful light energy that we want to bring in today and understand that we are moving not necessarily away or losing something. With that go forth card, it really makes me feel like we're actually gaining something this week that may not be necessarily 3D reality based, but it is definitely spiritual. That is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. By all means, please hit the thumbs up button, share the video out, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see how these energies transform. Have a wonderful day and take care. Bye-bye.